Welcome to the Sports Investors Daily Podcast for Labor Day weekend. We are doing this on Friday, September 2nd, but we got some great game breakdowns for you for Saturday. Some free picks here, some great offers. Very excited about the Sports Investors Daily Podcast, powered by TakingVegas.com. And guys, the most important thing I can do for you, and I am Chris Hodge, your host, is point you in the right direction to make money when it comes to the world of sports wagering and investing. Lots of people trying to figure it out right now. It's becoming legal in many states, and most of you just want a winner. So we're going to do our best here to help you out. Hopefully you've heard us all over the country. On Saturday, we're on in 17 different markets, over 200 different cities. So it's very exciting for Labor Day weekend and lots to talk about. There's some great games for Saturday, and I will get you a free pick as well. So let's get started with Oregon and Georgia. Obviously, everyone knows how great Georgia is, right? They had a fantastic season last year. National champions. They did lose in the SEC title game to Alabama, but then they came back and defeated Alabama in the national title game. We're all aware of that. But what happens is, and what they're going to learn, what Alabama has learned throughout the years, is when you're that good, you kind of get plucked. And I said plucked, PL, okay, just so you guys understand. A lot of those guys get drafted into the NFL. You lose a lot. There's a lot of turnover. And on their defense, they're only bringing back 3 returning starters. Now, look, they have 4- and 5-star recruits and athletes on that team. They're deep everywhere. But you are bringing back an inexperienced defense. And Oregon does have an experienced quarterback. Bo Nix is their starting quarterback. You guys know the name. He was the starting quarterback for Auburn, so he's used to SEC competition. They bring back a very experienced offensive line. They're good on defense. They're going to be well coached. So, listen, at the end of the day, this could be a tricky game for Georgia. However, generally, when the Pac-12 ventures over to the SEC, it doesn't really go well. There are exceptions to that rule. And Oregon actually was an exception to the rule. Years ago, they played Auburn a couple years ago and played them really tight. But, Auburn, that's not elite SEC. Georgia is elite SEC. So, this game is going to be defined by how good those players are on the defense for the Georgia Bulldogs, because 8 new starters. And if you haven't done your research on those and you haven't got their system in, you haven't got their players, you might want to try doing that. You can give us a call at 888-9-WIN-NOW. That's 888-994-6669. We have this pick absolutely free for you guys. Total right now sitting at 53. Georgia up to 17. It opened at 14.5, so Georgia's getting a lot of action there. The game is being played in Atlanta, Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Obviously, that's a home game for Georgia. However, the way the tickets get allotted, Oregon is going to get half the tickets. But let's face facts. Oregon's coming from basically one corner of the country going to the other. It's a tough road trip. That stadium's going to be packed with Georgia fans. Georgia is familiar with playing there. And Georgia is the better football team. However, when it comes to sports wagering, you got to cover 17, so that's a tough one to look at. So give us a call at 888-9-WIN-NOW. We have that pick for you absolutely free. And look, it's going to come down, like I just mentioned. It's going to come down to the Georgia defense. How good is the Georgia defense? Remember, they lost their defensive coordinator. By the way, their defensive coordinator from last year, Dan Lanning, is now the head coach at Oregon. So he knows those players well. He knows those players very well. And will he be able to take advantage of them? We'll see. It's a great game. I mean, a great opener. Oregon is highly ranked. They have high expectations. Obviously, the expectations for Georgia are to repeat. I mean, it's championship of failure. They've reached Alabama territory. It's that simple. And there's 3 teams that are there. There's 3 teams that it's championship or failure. That's Ohio State, that's Georgia, and that is Alabama. Clemson used to be there. They've fallen off a little. But those are the 3. It's championship or bust Ohio State, Georgia, and then Alabama. That's going to be it. And then maybe Alabama and Georgia, I mean, they both made it in last year. Maybe they're both undefeated headed into the SEC title game. I don't believe they play each other in the regular season. And, whoever the loser is getting in anyway. But Alabama and Georgia might knock each other off depending on what happens throughout the year. But those are the three. So it's a championship or bust for Georgia. And really, that is kind of the first time that Georgia and Kirby Smart have those expectations, right? Is that fair? I think that's fair. So we'll see how they play with the pressure. We have the free pick for you at 888-9-WIN-NOW. Also, if you're catching this podcast on Friday, there's a free pick right here on takingvegas.com, or you can go visit to it if you're listening to this wherever you get your podcast on Friday. There's a free pick write-up between Illinois and Indiana. On Saturday, there will be another free pick write-up on the site. So make sure you visit takingvegas.com if you are already not on the website. Now, this one, I'm not going to make many friends with this one. I'm not going to give a prediction on the game, but I'm going to speak harshly about one of the teams involved in the game. And every single time I do this, I get hate mail. It happens. I don't know why I get the hate mail. I don't quite understand it. I think you guys are all delusional, and I give out my email address. It's chris@takingvegas.com. But how many times are you Notre Dame fans going to fall for it? I don't know how nicer I can say for it. I mean, how many times are you guys going to fall for it? How many times are you guys going to get excited about a team only to get rammed in the S? I mean, I don't know how many times you guys see the same story and yet you think your team has a chance. Notre Dame is 1-17 in their last 18 versus top 5 teams. 1-17. That is about as poorly as it gets. Under Brian Kelly, Notre Dame is 1-7 against top 5 teams. They went 3-10 against top 10 teams. And 6 of those losses to the top 10 teams were by 14 points or more. And you guys screwed up the bowl game last year against Oklahoma State. So generally, you guys, you don't just lose to the good teams. You get destroyed. And saying that, I don't know why the Notre Dame fans go wild. What is not true about that? 1-17, not good. Losing by 2 touchdowns or more, really not good. Chris ain't lying. I'm not saying anything that's not true, but yet the lunatics will be out. Chris, why do you always got to break the balls of the Notre Dame fans? I'm not breaking your balls. I'm simply telling you, you guys stink when it comes to playing good competition. You beat up on the Navies of the world. We get that. But when it comes to the real competition, you guys always lay an egg. Always. Every single time. By the way, that 1-17, I don't even know who the one is that you guys beat, but whoever it was, they probably had a really bad day. All right, now, Ohio State is 18-1 straight up as home favorites on the head coach Ryan Day. The only loss came last year against Oregon. They're 12-7 in those 19 games against the spread. And Ohio State is loaded this year. They are loaded this year. They have serious talent all over the field. Notre Dame lost their top wide receiver. He blew his ACL out, unfortunately. He's a great player. They have a great tight end there, but I don't think that's going to be enough. However, it's still 17-point spread. It's a big point spread, right? I know Notre Dame gets generally blown out of games like this. I get that. And I'm not saying, again, the hate mail will come. I know that. I'm not saying Notre Dame is a bad football team. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is you guys are terrible against top teams, and Ohio State is certainly a top team. However, Ohio State has to cover 17 in this game. And look, it's going to be up here. It's going to be on the Notre Dame defense, most notably the back 7, and they have a young secondary going up against Heisman Trophy favorite C.J. Stroud and their wide receivers and a very, very good running back. Ohio State has a very good offense. They are trying to fix their defense, okay? And really, you know something? They hired the defensive coordinator from Oklahoma State. I don't know if I like that because Oklahoma State never stopped anyone in a big spot ever. So I don't know how that helps. I would give a slight lean towards the over, 59. You know, I've done some call-ins throughout the week, and that's what I was talking about. I'm not ready to lay Ohio State with 17. I'm sure as hell not taking Notre Dame plus the 17 because it wouldn't shock me if they got blown out. But we do have this pick for free on a recorded line at 888-9-WIN-NOW, 888-994-6669. Giving you a slight lean here on the over. We do have the side for you absolutely free. So give us a call at 888-9-WIN-NOW, 888-994-6669. Let's move over to Cincinnati and Arkansas. Cincinnati, credit to them. First group of 5, non-power conference, whatever you want to call it. Team to make the playoffs last year. Credit to them. Discredit to them because they proved they didn't belong there because Alabama just dominated them and they did whatever they wanted to do. But I really can't fault the team for losing to Alabama, especially when in the group 5. So good job. But, hey, look, they lost a lot of people. They lost their starting quarterback. They lost their best cornerback. He was drafted by the Jets in the first round, I believe number 4. That's Sauce Gardner. They lost a lot of guys. And, look, the top teams have a problem retooling and, you know, getting everyone going the following year. I mean, group 5 teams, they really struggle with that. So Cincinnati, you know, we'll see what they're about. We'll see how they've recruited. And this is a great start for them. I mean, they get Arkansas. Arkansas is, look, all day, they're not better than Bama. I don't believe they're better than LSU. I don't believe they're better than Texas A&M. I don't believe they're better than a couple of the other teams in the SEC West. But Arkansas could be a very good football team. They're just going to lose to those teams they play. Maybe they catch one. They're not going to catch Alabama. Maybe they get by LSU or Texas A&M. I don't think it's going to happen. But Arkansas have some talent. They got better as the year went along last year. The thing is, they creeped up on some people last year, and they're not going to do that this year. KJ Jefferson is back. Their top rusher is back. They did keep the game close against Alabama last year, but look, it is what it is. Alabama's just a better football team. Arkansas minus 6.5 in this game. Totals 52. We'll see what happens here. This is another game we have for free at 888-9-WIN-NOW. That's 888-994-6669. Going to give you a free pick here on the podcast. And this game is being played on Saturday. Again, if you're catching this on Friday, go to takingvegas.com. There is a free pick between Illinois and Indiana. Nice little write-up there. The free picks have been really good at takingvegas.com, so go check that out. Over Miami, Ohio, Kentucky will be the free pick for Saturday. You can get on that game right now. I think there's good value there. We have some Sunday game. We have a Sunday game, not some Sunday games, excuse me. LSU at Florida State. Then we have Clemson. I'm going to say at Georgia Tech. That game is also being played at Atlanta. But again, that's going to be probably a home game for Clemson in terms of fan enthusiasm. But Clemson does travel down to Atlanta. That's where that game is being played on Labor Day. Clemson's a big favorite in that game. For Saturday, we're very excited. We have a big underdog. If you're hearing the radio show, we call this a false favorite. We went 9-3 on these games last year. So if you want to call 888-9-WIN-NOW, 888-994-6669, get involved with the false favorite. 9-3 last year, 6 outright underdog winners. The average price of those 6 outright winners was plus 140. We have another underdog going for Saturday. We are releasing the game early, so be a part of it. Also, we have what we call is an obscure game. And an obscure game is it's not one of those big games. It's not one of those, national television type games or top 25 matchups. It's a game that's kind of, I guess the best word or the best phrase to describe it's flying under the radar. That's a good phrase to describe that. And we have that as well. So 2 big games available from takingvegas.com and Sports Investors Daily. And then most importantly, I want you guys to understand this. Look, there's so many new bettors in the market right now. And I've been on radio. Again, I'm Chris Hodge. I've been on radio doing this since 2006. And I've always maintained and argued with people live on radio that sports betting has always been a market. I've gotten a lot of pushback on that. Now people are starting to come around. When you buy a stock, you're buying into a company, right? You buy a company. You've done your research on the company and you like what the company is doing. Maybe they have a new product they're releasing or whatever the case may be. Consider the team the company, right? So if you're betting on your Ohio State, that's like betting on Apple, right? That's the company. And then the price of the stock is the line on the game. So to get Ohio State on Saturday, you have to lay 17 points. That's the price. The thing about gambling is if you put up 1,000 and you win, you get your 1,000 back, plus you get $1,000 in profit. I've long maintained, I'm not trying to have the argument with anyone, that it is the greatest investment in the world if done properly. Okay, please understand those 3 words right there. If done properly. If you gamble like a lunatic, you bet every single prop, you bet every single game, you have no money management, you are not going to have success. You're going to end up hurting yourself. None of us want to see that happen. So here at Sports Investors Daily and the TakingVegas.com website, we try to guide you and try to educate you on how to wager correctly, how to look at this as a market. Just think about it. If you had 10,000, right? Would you put that all into one stock? You might, and you'll live and die whether that price goes up or down. And you'd be more inclined to do it if you had some sort of information on the company. Okay, fine. When it comes to sports wagering, man, if you got 10,000 to your name, we would never recommend you put that all on one game. Maybe 2,000 or 3,000, a certain percentage of what you have. Play the mathematics and build it up wisely, build it up conservatively, build it up smartly. And if you do that and you're not the type of guy that, I won 3,000, I got to go put 6 on just a game just to have some action, or I'm trying to make a killing. No, that's what the sportsbooks want you to do. And it doesn't always work. If you have a compulsive habit, you're going to not have much success. And again, it's not something we want you guys to have happen. It's not something we want to see. So when you visit TakingVegas.com, we got how-to articles here. How to wager on sports, how to wager correctly, how to be patient, how to be disciplined, how to pick and choose your spots. I've always said this, and again, this is my 17th year now, my 17th football season doing radio. I don't consider myself a gambler. I could walk through a casino and not play 3-card poker or the crap tables or roulette. What do I care? I could sit in a sports book and watch a game I have no money on. I call that research. I don't need to have money on a game to feel fulfilled or feel excited, right? I'm going to pick and choose my spots, and when that spot comes, then I will wager on that game. I will invest in that game. I want you guys to understand there's a big difference between being patient and investing as opposed to gambling and being a lunatic. There is a big difference. So we'll look to help you out with that here. You can call up right now, 888-9-WIN-NOW. Get 3 free picks, 888-994-6669. Gave you a free pick here on the podcast over Miami, Ohio, Kentucky. For Friday, if you catch this podcast on Friday, there's a free pick article between Illinois and Indiana. And, if you need to learn how to invest properly in the world of sports wagering, ask one of us when you get one of us on the phone. And we love nothing more than to help you and to lead you and to guide you in the right path, in the right direction to make a lot of money. So hope you enjoyed this podcast. It's the first one of many. We got so many great things lined up for this year. We're going to have videos. We're going to have free pick articles. TakingVegas.com is going to have a great line sheet on it. You guys are going to find that phenomenal. That'll probably be up the middle of September. We're really going to make TakingVegas.com the one-stop shop for all of your sports informational needs, and we're really excited about that. So enjoy Labor Day weekend, make some money. That will make it more enjoyable, and we will be back Thursday night to break down the opening of the professional football season. It'll be very exciting. Lots of great things. This is always a great time of the year. Enjoy the weekend. It's Chris Hodge signing off. Have a great one, guys.